Hello YouTube, and I recently learned to solve the Rubik's Cube, and I used Dan Brown's guide. I found it had some unclear parts, and it was also, never mind. I'll try to clear a few things up and teach you how to solve a Rubik's Cube a bit more clearly if you think. So, to begin, let's solve the white side, because white has the logo and I just like to solve white. So, first of all, you have to learn cube notation. So, pretend you're facing the cube and here's your cube. If you were to turn the up face, you would turn it 90 degrees clockwise. Any other face, the face is called up, down, or bottom, left, right, front, and back, and that's pretty obvious which ones those are. If I just say a letter such as right, then you would look at whatever face that is. So for you, that's this face, and turn it 90 degrees clockwise. If I say right inverted or left inverted, then you face that. You face whatever face I say, and you turn it 90 degrees counterclockwise. This is important because if you are turning the right face clockwise or the left and the left face clockwise, you actually turn them in different directions. So just look at the face and do what you're told. So when we start off, we're gonna put the white on top. We want to solve that first. We want to solve this face, but at the same time, we also want to get this first, let's call it a layer, all done right. So another important thing is that all these middle pieces, they're called center pieces, and every cube has 6 of them. The cube has 6 faces, and these never move in relation to one another. So white is always to the left of blue if you look at it one way, and flip it around and it's probably going to be the same as long as you look at it the right way. So they just don't really move away from each other. So they're all, these two, blue, green, always across from each other. That's really important to know that, because you're going to get confused. You're going to think, I'm going to mess the center up, but you're really not. The center doesn't get messed up. These are the edge pieces, so there are, I think 12 of them, and they have 2 colors. Yeah, that's how. And corner pieces, pretty obvious corners. There are 8 of them, each have 3 colors, and we're gonna try to orient them correctly a lot. So let's place white on top. So pretend you're facing the cube. This is white on top. So we are going to, how we start is we make a white cross like this. And despite having the cross, you also need these sides to line up, just these 2, okay? So you don't have to line up this bottom one, just these 2, and this is the top. So make a white cross, line up all of those edge piece and center pieces on every side of the cross, okay? So because we're looking for edge pieces, we're going to look for edge pieces, pieces that have 2 colors that are already not in the right place. Oh look, here is one. It's the white and blue. Because it's white, that's what we need. And remember, the middle pieces don't move. So this one's pretty easy. You just have to turn it up. You should do it yourself pretty good. So now let's turn it until these 2 line up, okay? That bottom one doesn't matter. Doesn't necessarily have to line up. We're just making a cross, and this has to line up, and all of those. And so let's find another corner piece. So like this one. And this one is on the side, so we can just turn it straight up. And it happens to be almost the full thing, and the sides are lined up. If they're not lined up, then you have to reverse what you did, because if they're not lined up, you can't do the rest of the cube because it's not lined up. So you're not going to get the whole thing done. So mine just happened to line up. Now, if your corner piece is, for example, right here, this is the top, and it's right here. Well, you can't really rotate that in a really easy way to get it up. Instead, the really important rule to learn here is, it applies basically everywhere on doing the Rubik's Cube. When you want to get a piece somewhere, you have to place it directly below where you want it to go. So I want this to go here because, I want this to go here because it's orange. It might look a little red in the video, but these are orange, and that's a red. So, little difference, but my camera's not the best. So, when you get this below where it needs to be, so when I get this up here, it's going to line up that and also form the cross on top. Because it's here, I can't just rotate this face up. That doesn't work. Instead, if I just rotate this up, then it messes up the top, right? So let's undo that. And so how do I get this up? Well, if I move it up like that, like I just showed you, it messes up the cube. So whatever it's gonna mess up, you just move away. So because if I move the centerpiece up like that, it will mess that up, these up, cross up. I'm gonna move these away. I'm gonna get that up here, and I'm gonna move them back. And now we have it up here. So maybe it's a little unclear. I'll do it again. So you need this to come up here. So you move away what you're going to disturb. You move that thing up. So that's how you move a middle piece up. And you move back what you would have disturbed, but you didn't disturb. And you should, with a little more of that, be able to get your own top cross, which is what we want, and also line up all of the sides. I'm just going to do it really quick here. And what I'm basically doing, which I don't think you can see very well, is exactly what we were doing. And I am done. So now you see on the top I have the white cross solved, and on every side I've lined it up. This is what you want. Okay, so after you've done this is step 2 if you watch Dan Brown's tutorial, and I would like to thank him because he's the guy who taught me how to do this, and I'm just trying to improve his little guide a little better, maybe. So now the important thing is you are going to solve these 4 corner pieces. Okay? So not only are you going to, once you solve them, you're going to get, this is going to be all white, right? You're going to solve the first face. But if it's all white and these pieces are not good, so I'm going to show you an example. For example, this piece appears to be correct, but when we look on the side, this is actually an orange. I don't know if you can see the difference. It's a little different. So this is actually an orange, this is a red, and this is a red. So whatever this is the centerpiece, this whole face is supposed to be, and because that's orange, that's not the right one to put here. So you actually have to get them all in the correct orientation and in the correct place. And I'll show you one that is in the correct place. So, for example, this one is in the correct place because it is white on top. On the side it is red, just like this, and on the other side it is blue, matches. So they match. You just have to match the center with the color. That's the most important thing. And so how did I get that from down here up here? Well, let's try to get another one up here. So let's see, let's do this one. This is the white, green, and orange corner piece, and so we have to look for where it's supposed to go. Well, we see on top we have white, so that's supposed to go somewhere on top. We look here and oh, it's green. We look, so we know that it's gonna be on the top and on the green. So it's going to be either one of these places. Now we look to the sides, and this one's a red, this one's a red, this one's an orange. My camera does suck. So, because this one's a red, we actually need to get this corner piece up here, because this is where the place that there is white, red, and green. And this piece is a red, white, and green piece. A bit awkward trying to do this in front of a camera. So here is the piece that we need to get up there. And we're going to place it, like I said in the first rule, directly under where it needs to be. And it needs to be here. So this is a piece. Here is red, and here is green, and this is white. So it's supposed to go here. Now this piece, you want it to go here. It's directly under. So step 1, you're done. Step 2, this is your first algorithm. An algorithm is a set of moves, and you write an algorithm like R is right is R, L is left, top is actually called up. So up is U. Down is D, front is F, and so on. And if it was inverted, which means counterclockwise, then you would do RI, so right inverted, and that's all. So we're gonna get this piece up to here, and so this is your first algorithm. And so here's your top. So top always remains on top until I tell you to switch. Okay, so face this side, and put the piece that you're working with in the bottom right corner of the front face, the face you're facing right now, that I'm tapping. So it's in the bottom right, at least to me it is. I hope it is in the camera. And you're going to go use the algorithm. Your first algorithm now, listen carefully. Right inverted, so right inverted, down inverted, so we're gonna look at down and do counterclockwise 90 degrees. Then we do right and down, so clockwise, clockwise. So you'll notice that if you write this down, it becomes R-I-D-I-R-D. And you might notice that exactly what we're doing is really doing something, and then we are just reversing it, because if we didn't reverse it, we're going to mess something else up. And that's part of a lot of algorithms, almost everyone. So you're going to keep on doing that. So look at right inverted, down inverted, right, down, and you're going to keep on doing that until you get this in the correct position. These match, red, red, green, green. So you're going to repeat that for all of the corners, and the important thing to know is that when you're doing this algorithm, you must be facing the front face. The top has to be whatever color you made the cross with, which is, in our case, white. I recommend you stay with white, because if you don't, you're going to have a little trouble on this tutorial. You're going to be like, well, he said green, but green was the color I started with. So stay with white on top, start with white. That's like, just do that. So now we see we have a few more to solve. So this one is the white, green, and orange. Might not look orange still. So we're gonna turn it until it's in the correct place. How you tell it's the correct place is the centerpiece around the corner are white, green, and what was that? Orange. And that really doesn't look orangish. So this piece, we know for sure it's supposed to go here. Now, first step, right? You have to place it directly under where you want it to go. So it is directly under where we want it to go. And so let's do the algorithm. So right inverted, down inverted, right down, 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 right inverted, down inverted, right down. And if you keep on repeating that, eventually you will get that piece in the correct position, despite how many times you get it in the wrong position. Usually it will take about 2 to 7 times. That's what I have experienced. So let's do the last one. Pretty obvious, this is the only one left, and that's the only piece left with white. So let's do the algorithm. And so here's a few tips for you. You should get a cube moisturizer. I recommend just use plain Vaseline, petroleum jelly stuff. That makes your cube a lot smoother. Or just get one of those, go on Amazon and buy some $9 that Schengen brand. I think they're pretty good. So my cube ain't the best, but we can see we solved the top layer. But more importantly, because this I can do anytime without solving the whole cube, we have solved the first layer. And if you did that right, congratulations. If you didn't, you can talk to me, post a comment, and I will answer. So, thanks for listening. I'll make another part soon on the next steps.